This video is going to be about the area of irregular figures, or those figures that are typically L-shaped and we have to split them into rectangles. So I've already written out the steps just to save some time. So if you have a shape like this one right here, your first step is going to be to split it into rectangles. Now, some of you like to do this. Is that splitting that shape into two rectangles? No, it is not. That is splitting it into two quadrilaterals, but that is not two rectangles. Okay. After you split it into rectangles, you need to identify the length and width of each rectangle. Normally, you will be creating two rectangles. Then you want to find the area of each of those rectangles and then add them together. So there's almost always more than one way to split these shapes up. So we're going to look at the two different ways to do it. I encourage you to pause the video and try to solve this on your own. Now, this blue one, I'm going to split this way. Okay, so I've now split the shape into two rectangles. I'm going to call this one rectangle A, and I'm going to call this one rectangle B. So that's step one. Step two is I need to identify the length and width of each rectangle. If I look at rectangle A, I see three numbers around that rectangle. I see 4, 7, and 10. I need to decide which ones to use. I know that for area, I do length times width. My length of this rectangle is 4 inches. So I'm going to do 4 times my width, which is 7. I'm not using the 10 because the 10 is for this entire distance right here. Remember, I told you trace the shape with your finger or your pencil. See what part of that shape that number goes with. So if I do 4 times 7, I should get 28. So the area of rectangle A is 28 inches squared. I'm not done yet. I've got to find the area of rectangle B. So I need to multiply the length times width. I don't have anything up here, so I'm going to look right here. Okay, so I know that my width is 3. I do not have a length right here. I have this 10, but that's for that entire distance at the bottom. I need to know what this part right here is. So I'm using what I know about rectangles, and I'll get a different color just to kind of highlight this. If this is 4 inches, we know that this is also 4 inches. I'm going to mark out this 10 because I'm splitting it up. Notice I didn't mark it out where I couldn't read it, but I split it up where I knew what it was. 4 plus what gives me 10? 6. So if this side is 4, this side has to be 6 because the total length or distance right there is 10 inches. So I know my length of rectangle B is 6. So I'm going to do 6 times 3. I know the area of rectangle B is 18 inches squared. Now it's time for my last step. I take the 28 inches squared plus the 18 inches squared to get my total area. 8 plus 8 is 16, and then 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. So the total area of this figure is 46 inches squared. Now we're going to go down to this one, and I'm going to split it up differently. We will get the same answer. So I'm going to split this one this way. I'm going to call this rectangle A and this rectangle B. I know that area is length times width. So if I start with rectangle A, I've got a length right here, 4 inches. I do not have to think too hard about it. It is right there and labeled. Now, I need to know what this is. I see this 7, but this 7, I'm going to trace my shape, is for this entire width right here. I don't need the entire width, I just need this piece. So I've got to go back and use what I know about rectangles. If this is 3 inches, then this side also has to be 3 inches. I'm marking this out. The total length is 7 inches. If I know that this piece is 3, this piece has to be 4 because 4 plus 3 gives me that 7 inches that I need right there. So now I have my width for the rectangle A. I'm going to do 4 times 4, which gives me 16. So the area of rectangle A is 16 inches squared. Now I'm going to look at rectangle B. I look at my length right here. I don't see anything, but I look down here. My length is going to be 10. So I know area is length times width. My length is 10. My width is 3. I've got it on both sides. 10 times 3 gives me 30. So the area of rectangle B is 30 inches squared. I'm going to take the 30 and add the 16. And I got 46 inches squared, which matches what I got up here. I showed you both ways to show you there is almost always two different ways to split up those shapes. Now, you do not want to split them up diagonally like I showed you earlier. You do not want to do that because that does not give you two rectangles. Okay, so there you go.